So I'm out of soda. Um, let's see. Is there anything else about Made in Abyss? Ooh, let's see. Oh, well, I enjoyed that turn, I guess. Oh god, sorry. I think if there was cell shaded, like if I could put like the cartoon, if I could get Reshade to work with Made in Abyss and put cartoon stuff on it, I think that would genuinely improve the gameplay. Well, not the gameplay, but it would just improve that for me, definitely.
My name is I'd like you to deliver this item to a town. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah, it's, oh, one of the tracks that they use, I think, for the orphanage genuinely reminds me so much of, the Chow Garden from Sonic Adventure 2. Like, I couldn't even tell you. Kinda crazy. But yeah, no, okay, sorry. So, otherwise, I don't know, when I was thinking about Made in Abyss and was like, you know, I really would like... There are a few things, a few ideas I haven't fleshed out a lot, but certainly, like, you know, there are ideas from, you know, pop culture that I want to put into D&D, keep in my back pocket for just whenever I can use them. And I don't know, you know, Made in Abyss, of course, the Abyss is obviously the very interesting thing. The idea of having a giant hole in the ground, unexplored hole in the ground, honestly is really cool. So yeah, okay. The idea of having a town built along, you know, a giant hole in the ground. I mean, that's a giant island that is just a huge hole in the ground. Not, you know, not a terrible idea. But I feel like I would just be copying it, you know? So it's like, eh. So what I came up with, right? It's a mountain. Okay? It's a mountain that the farther you ascend on the mountain, similar in concept to the curse, except that the more progress you make, the farther the farther up you go, the more the curse affects you. And like, you know, in order to progress, you're having to progress through the curse, whereas with, you know, of course, Made in Abyss, the curse is, you know, limiting your, you know, ascent back from the thing, which I don't know. There's definitely something to be said about that. Like, the further in you go, the harder it is physically to, you know, get out, certainly. But, you know, but instead of being like something that's like, you know, it's, oh yeah, I guess, you know, it's more of a thing of like, I guess maybe addiction, sort of an allegory for addiction, where, you know, the more, you know, you progress in it, the harder it is to let go of, you know, to the point where, you know, it's even, you know, you lose yourself, you know, so it's kind of a nice thing. My thing, it's more of like, it's not a curse, it is a curse, but it's more of benefit. It's like what I'm gonna call, and it's still a work in progress title, but I'm thinking like Mount Purity, where actually it's like the purest version of yourself. Like, you know, you will just slowly, like, you know, you will just become like, you know, I mean, obviously in D&D terms, you won't go from being like, you won't level up from going up, but, you know, you'll get better stats and, you know, change form or, you know, entire species or something. Maybe, I don't know. But the point, you know, being like, you know, there's definitely a sort of hierarchy, and I guess, I don't know, I just thought of this idea. I haven't progressed too much on it, but, you know, there's like, well, I don't know, there's something, I don't know, I'll decide on what exactly the players have to do with it, but it's something along the lines of like, destroy it, or you go to the top of the mountain, and either, you know, get rid of the curse or keep it, and there's probably something of like, this curse is being generated by something. There's a monk who's guarding it and, you know, is very neutral in this, but there's also like an actual like kingdom of people who live on the top of the mountain who are constantly in this sort of position of power because they're the most pure version of themselves, which isn't necessarily a good thing.
What do you have to sell? What do you have to sell? What do you have to sell? See anything interesting?
And they can like, and there's some sort of magical item so that they can keep their purest form at the base of the mountain, which is where a huge collection, where a huge city is. And the thing is that the curse like draws people in, and they literally are unwillingly compelled to stay to some degree. And this is a known thing, but they still can't break it. So of course there's, you know, from the player's perspective, and you know, like if you're born into it, if you're born in the area, you have a little bit more resistance. So like, if somebody were to wander in and stay there for a week, they would feel compelled to stay. But if you were born into it, you know, it would be like years, decades. Like the idea is like, you know, people are born into it, they leave just naturally. They grow up, they leave. Some come back, but not everyone. And over time, you know, this has become a recognized thing. So, oh jeez, where to go? So it's become a recognized thing, and like, you know, there's a whole thing about it. Like cities that are outside of the border that, you know, warn about the curse and everything. So, but from the player's perspective, you know, it's like you are on a limited time, and maybe there is a little bit of, you know, the mountain is literally calling to you. And, you know, the idea of destroying it or being able to, you know, use its power and, you know, some element of greed can be put into it. I mean, definitely I want there to be like, you know, an item where it's like, you know, oh, like you can turn into your sort of purest form or whatever. I don't know. I need to come up with a better term for it. But, you know, you can use it like 5 times, and then you have to go back to the mountain, back to the top of the mountain in order to, in order to use it. Or in order to recharge it or something. I don't know. It's certainly a good idea. It's certainly a pretty solid idea, I would say.
Hey there.
Otherwise, I don't know. It's just gonna be fun for me to draw concept, because, you know, it's gonna be like, or, oh shit. Well, it's gonna be like certain characters from Made in Abyss. Remind me to leave that. Shoot. But yeah, no, it's gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be like, it's gonna be a thing. Now I have to bleep a thing. Damn me. Damn me.